Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today to our session, Intro to Grad Studies. We're going to give just a minute or two just for everyone to join. Everyone has started joining. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're really happy to have you here. Um, perhaps just one more minute, Maya, or should we just
Yeah, we can give it a couple of minutes. I can see some people are still trickling in to our meeting, so we'll just let them come in slowly or hopefully rather quickly because we do have a lot of great topics that we want to cover with you all today. And as Monse said, thank you so much for joining us for this session. Wherever you're coming from in the world, I know some of you might be a little bit all over the place. So welcome, welcome, and we're excited to have you come to McGill this fall. So first of all, congratulations on your acceptance, and we hope you have all taken the opportunity to celebrate this major milestone in your life. So I can see that our room is starting to fill up. So maybe we can go ahead and get started, Monse.
perfect? Thank you, Maya. Hello everyone. My name is Monse Ochoa. I am Graduate Recruitment Manager at the Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies Office at McGill. And today I will be presenting with my colleague Maya. Would you want to present yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Maya Bachara. I am the Student Life Associate at Campus Life and Engagement. And I'm going to explain to you a little bit what I do and what our office does in just a couple of slides.
Thank you, Maya. Today we're also, oh, can we please go back? We're also joined by my colleague Elisa David from GPS as well. She works directly with me. She's a graduate recruitment associate, and she will be helping us answering some questions at the end. So today in our agenda, we will review, we will do a land acknowledgement. Then we will let you know what is GPS, what is CLAY, academics, graduate resources available, student services, and we will discuss briefly orientation. So next one, please. Thank you. So before starting, we want to have a discussion about some housekeeping items. So we ask you to be respectful at all times. Please ask your questions in the Q&A portion of the meeting. We suggest you waiting until the end of the presentation because we will be covering a lot of the topics. But be feel free to also add your questions as we go through the material. Important to know, the slides and the recording from this presentation will be shared with you. Please, thank you. So if you are an international student, you might be unfamiliar with this practice, but even so in other parts, we tend to take 1 minute of our time to do a land acknowledgement. This is an important practice here at the university because it acknowledges the indigenous peoples that were here in the land before us. So we will take just a moment to recognize that McGill University is situated on land which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst indigenous peoples, including the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations. We acknowledge and thank the diverse indigenous peoples whose presence marks this territory on which peoples of the world now gather. If you want to learn more about land acknowledgement, we invite you to do so. There's more resources available and more information available for you as to know why this practice is important for us. Thank you. So now you will see, and we mention often, we have a lot of acronyms in McGill, so we tend to go with the acronyms. But I think, as a first, as an introduction to McGill, we will give you the big names, but we'll also give you the acronyms so that you get familiar because you will hear out these names throughout your degree. So the Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies Office, GPS, is a department here at McGill. We have the leadership of graduate teaching, supervision, and research for all the over 450 graduate programs. The department oversees my path and the individual development plan, which is a one-time requirement for your graduate studies. We will discuss this in depth in a few slides. But we also oversee skill set, which is a unit for the professional development workshops. We take care of the thesis guidelines from preparation to submission. We give you support with that. We have supervision regulations and best practices and a lot of resources available for you. We also have funding information and opportunities. So we communicate constantly with you about funding opportunities, funding awards, competitions, um, all to give you support from the graduate and postdoctoral studies part. Now, I'm going to leave Maya to let you know, to tell you a little bit more about Clay.
Thank you, Monse. So, my office is Campus Life and Engagement, or CLAY for short. As you know, Megan loves its acronyms. And we are here to help you build a sense of belonging and connection within the McGill and Montreal communities. And we do this by helping you prepare for your arrival at McGill and connect you to resources that you're going to need along the way through our webinar series, for example. We have a great team that can also be reached for individual appointments to help you navigate resources in your first year and beyond. So if ever you have any questions, you're not sure where to go and who to go to, you can always book an appointment with me, or you can also reach out to our Ask McGill student navigators. They're here to answer your questions by phone, email, and in person. They're usually located in our Brown building, which is the Student Services building on campus, at the downtown campus. And we also have one person located at the Mac campus, but you will also see them walking around the campus in August with their Ask McGill flag backpacks. So you'll be able to find them walking around and you'll be able to flag them up for questions. Don't be shy. If you have any questions, they'll be able to help you. We also help students explore peer support and mentorship programs, such as our new Student Buddy program. And I'll talk a little bit in more detail about that later in the presentation. And we'll also be putting on lots of activities for students throughout the year. However, the biggest and most exciting is going to be orientation. And this is going to be 3 days of orientation from August 26th to the 28th, which I'll also elaborate a little bit more on later on. So that's a little bit quickly about campus life and engagement. And we wanted to bring this presentation in partnership to GPS again to be able that you have all of the resources that you need as you're starting your degree. So I hand it over back to Monse, who's going to go through all of the academic portion of it.
Thank you, Maya. So yes, we want to give you an overview of all the academic the academics, the part that you will need to know prior to your arrival. So if we can go to the next one, please. So the first one is your McGill username. So 24 hours after you accepted your offer, you received an email from IT where it's included your McGill username and your McGill email address and how to activate it. This email would include the IT instructions on how to activate it. But if at any point you need help, you can visit the IT services knowledge base to set up your email. Your email will be accessible through Outlook. So this can be browser-based, mobile, and or desktop app. And it's a very important part because, first of all, once you become a student, we are only allowed to communicate with you through your official McGill email address. So this is very important. This is university policy. So if you haven't yet activated it, please do so. This is important as well because it gives you access to a lot of services. So you get access to the campus wireless, also to the VPN, which is important, especially when you are working from home. So when you are doing your homework or your research, the VPN will allow you to access the libraries. So it's very important to activate your email and to start browsing everything that you have access to, because it's done through your email. This is Minerva, my courses, which we will discuss in a few minutes. Also campus printing, free software, public stations, so basically everything. So we encourage you that if you haven't yet done so, activate your email and start using it. Now, we discussed Minerva and my courses. So Minerva and my courses are two important platforms. The first one, will give you access to your student records, meaning that you will be able to see your unofficial transcripts, see your grades. Um, it's also the place where you will do your course registration. This is important, and we will discuss this in a minute. But through Minerva, you will be able to register for your courses for every term. So it's very important that you also get familiar with the platform, and you will be able to consult any financial information. So in your account, you'll be able to see your um, student account by term, so your account by term, which will give you an updated information on the financial part of your account, and you also receive your e-bills. But I think I'm going to take this moment to let you know that e-bills are issued month. So the best way to know exactly what's happening in your account is to access Minerva and go to your account summary by term. So that way you will see live information. Then you also have access to my courses. So in my courses, you will see the course syllabus and the readings. You will see the assignment submissions. You will take online quizzes and discussion boards. So both platforms are different because one gives you access to the student records, course registration, and financial information. The other one, it's in-depth information about your courses. So you have access to both, and every course that you take has a different approach and what information and how much information they put on my courses. So, but it's very important that you're familiar with both of them. Next slide, please. So another important part for you to know is that there are required tutorials that you need to take. The first one is the academic integrity tutorial. This is mandatory for all students. It's access to through Minerva. You go to student menu, and then you see academic integrity tutorial. This is very important for you. We encourage you to complete it. Actually, you can complete it, after you register, and even before, in the first weeks. I would suggest that you do so, because this is a requirement that you get out of the way. It takes you probably like 30 minutes to complete, but it's very important because um, if you don't complete it, then you get blocked later on. You can have holds in your account. So it's better to be proactive. Another required tutorial is It Takes All of Us. This is mandatory for all students, and the purpose is to build a safer campus. Its purpose is to build awareness of sexual violence. It's accessed through my courses. So as you see, each tutorial is in different platforms. The It Takes All of Us tutorial takes approximately 40 minutes to complete. But then again, these um, these tutorials should be completed by the end of your first semester. So I really encourage you to try to do it as early as possible, because once you are in the term and you are getting all this information about your assignments, about your tests, it might be an afterthought, but it's very important. So I suggest you to do them earlier, complete them earlier. Next, please. Thank you. So if you are in a PhD or master thesis program, it's important for you to complete the supervision module, once again, by the end of your first semester. This module is mandatory for everyone in a thesis program. So that means PhD program or master thesis. And it contains critical information on the supervisory relationship, including the mandatory letter of understanding. We will discuss this document in depth in a few slides. But this supervision module tutorial will be available for you to complete through my courses. So if you're a thesis student, you will have 2 tutorials to complete through my courses and 1 in Minerva. And if you're a non-thesis student, you will have 1 in Minerva and 1 in my courses. Next slide, please. Thank you. So, Grad Life Orientation. You can access Grad Life Orientation via Grad Hub. So we encourage you to use Grad Hub as often as possible. We have a lot of information available for you there. You can see the welcome message from the Dean of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, fun videos and quick primers on important aspects of your graduate experience, such as health and wellness, finances and funding, the graduate community, and much more. So Grad Hub, you access it the same way that you access your, the application portal. So basically, the moment you accepted your offer through the application portal, you see a tab that says Grad Hub, and there you will find all this information and more. So once we discuss the part of orientation, when you register to these events, you can see your schedule in there as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. So whether if you're in a master's program or a PhD program, the course load and the degree time that it takes is different. So for master's programs, the course load is usually 4 to 5 courses, 12 to 15 credits per semester, which brings you to 14 to 48 credits total. And for the PhD program, the course load is program specific. Requirements of, the number of credits and the requirements per program vary greatly. So just please refer to your department and program for specific details. In terms of the degree time limit, this is the maximum amount that it should take you to complete your degree. So for master's programs, it's 3 years for full-time students and 5 years from part-time students. But it's important to know that if you are an international student, the part-time it's not available for you, and because you need to comply with all the requirements in terms of hours that the government sets. And also, even if you are not an international student, there are programs that are not available part-time. So if you wanted to consider full-time and then part-time, it's very important for you to review whether if your program allows you to be part-time or not. The majority of our students are full-time students, so the time limit for that would be 3 years. Now, for PhD programs, the time limitation or degree time limit is 7 years, or 6 years if you're entering directly from a master's, well, from an MA. So, as mentioned there, all international students must be enrolled in full-time studies. Thank you. Okay, next. Course registration. So this is a very, very, very important task of yours. So this is important because courses have limited sitting spaces. So especially if you're interested in courses, like complementary courses that you need to take in the fall, or mandatory courses, it's very important that you register as early as possible. So this is done through Minerva. You will go to student menu and then registration menu. And then you will be asked to enter these that we call CRN. Don't worry, I know that right now it might be intimidating to hear all of this, but there are instructions in Grad Hub on how to register. You will also receive a reminder. Important registration dates is July 7th. Registration opens at 9 a.m. And you would need to register to at least one class by August 14th to avoid the late registration fees. However, we really encourage you to register for both fall and winter courses as early as possible between July 7th and August 14th. This will ensure that you have your place in the courses that you need to take. And this will help us, ensure that all the students are registered and plan accordingly. And then other important dates for you to take into account is the add drop deadline. So this is September 15th, and this is the date, the last date to add a course. Important to note that late registration fees applies if you did not register for at least one class by August 14th. But this is the absolute deadline to add or drop a course. Then September 22nd is the deadline to withdraw from courses with a refund. And then October 27th, the deadline to withdraw from courses without a refund. So for all graduate students in thesis programs, additionally to the courses that you register for, you need to add these CRNs. So CRN 150 for fall 2026 and CRN 162 for winter 2027. These will ensure that you are properly registered for both terms as a thesis student. So next one, please. So it is important for you to know that you must register continuously for every term during your program, unless you request a formal leave of absence. A leave of absence is and special request when there are extraordinary circumstances that will not allow you to continue studying. This is mostly used for cases in which there is something really serious, such as an illness, where there are issues of extraordinary circumstances that really impede you to continue your studies. And then once you submit the request, it gets evaluated, and then it can be authorized or rejected. But then again, this is for extraordinary circumstances. You can learn more about this in the course catalog, in the guidelines and regulations from the graduate and postdoctoral studies. So the registration dates and other important registration information is compiled in our website, the GPS website. But you can also consult the registration section on Grad Hub, where you have all of the details on how to register. If by any chance you have issues with registration, you can check our how to register webpage and see if there was a missing step or something that maybe there was an information that you were missing, and it might be clearer to see it in another place. You can review it there. If you keep on having difficulties, you can contact Service Point. But if you have specific course requirement issues, or if there is an issue with register with a specific course that it's in your program, you should contact your GPC. Who is your GPC? Is your graduate program coordinator, and we will discuss these roles in a second. Next one, thank you. So another tool that we have for you in terms of course registration is a visual schedule builder. This tool helps you build schedule options based on your selection of courses and related activities. So I found this tool incredibly helpful because I'm a very visual person. So it really helps me to see, which term at what time I am taking it. So this tool is at your disposal. So if you already know which courses you're planning to take, you can review them in the Visual Schedule Builder before you register in Minerva. So it will help you planning your schedule. And once you've decided and once you've seen these courses, you can go to the registration menu and then register in Minerva. If we can go to the next slide, please. So this is how the Visual Schedule Builder looks. So if you see, it goes by term, so you can choose term. In this case, for instance, for this particular one, only summer was available, so this is why it says here summer. But on the left, you see when it says select course, you can put the subject, the title, or the CRN of the course. And then on the right side, you will see when is the course being offered, the time that it takes. But it's important for you to know that if it's a course that it has like internship component, it might be blocking all day long, but that does not mean that it's all day course. So it's just that it's within that day at different hours, but this will be explained to you in detail by your graduate program coordinator. But for courses that don't have like an internship component, you would generally see them like this. It will tell you the time in which they're available. And some of them might be available at 2 different dates. So then again, you can play around here and choose which one fits best. especially if you're as you are advancing and you're taking complementary courses or different type of courses. Thank you. Next one, please. So your contacts, we have GPCs and GPDs. Once again, acronyms. The first one is your graduate program coordinator. You can contact them regarding program requirements, regulations, fellowships, or course inquiries, such as these part of complementary courses that are available at any term. And another important contact for you is your graduate program director. So they manage the graduate program as a whole, and you can contact them regarding mediating your relationship with your supervisor, or in some instances about even guidance on which courses to take depending of the outcome of your program. So they are support for you, especially in terms of academics support, and your graduate program coordinator will give you support, especially on the administrative side of things. You can find your specific GPC or GPD within the slides. We will share them with you so that you can click there if you don't know them yet, but hopefully you're already in contact with them. So graduate regulations, we have three main sources of information for you in terms of regulations. The first one is the course catalog. You can access all the grad policies and regulations at McGill through there. You also have the Office of Dean of Students, where you can review your student rights and responsibilities, the code of conduct, and the disciplinary procedures. And finally, the handbook on student rights and responsibilities. Thank you. Next one, please. So graduate supervision. If you are in a thesis program, this is for you. So this applies for all PhD students and all master students in a thesis program. So being matched with the supervisor often occurs during the application process, but the timing can vary. So we know that some departments and some programs require you to confirm a supervisor even before you submit your application. If you're in a thesis program, you are familiar with this process, and you probably contacted your supervisor way in advance and had a lot of meaningful conversations with them to know that they're a good match. But it can be so that your program is one of them that just required you to identify a topic for your research, or that you identify potential supervisors and that they will match you with a supervisor after you applied. So then again, the process varies, but timing varies by program, but it's important for you to review your website. And if you have any questions about your supervisor, you can ask your graduate program coordinator for specifics. Next one, please. So your first meeting. So at your first meeting, it's very important to discuss the expectations you have of one another. These expectations are written down in a letter of understanding. This is where you will consolidate all the topics, such as the frequency of the supervisory meetings and your feedback expectations and your supervisor's expectations of written work, as well your funding, your research responsibilities, and the authorship's policies. So when you were preparing your application, you probably ask yourself all of these questions on, is this supervisory style matches my expectations? All of these questions should have been addressed before you get assigned before you get your supervisor, but it might still be the case, as we've just mentioned, that this was not part of it. So the letter of understanding is your opportunity to set all of those expectations, and both from the supervisor as your expectations from their feedback and what you're expecting to get from them in terms of frequency of meetings and the funding that you will receive from them, everything to be condensed in a written form in the letter of understanding. This is important because it will give you clarity on the relationship. So if you have more information and you need more information on the letter of understanding, you can go to the GPS supervision website when we have a plethora of resources available for you on this topic. The next one, please. So supervision tips. Some tips for working well with your supervisor include clearly communicating your expectations. This is very important because it ensures that that you're open, that you are opening this channel of communication, and that you are stating what you will need from them. Um, this will allow you to set that expectation right from the get-go, and then just, adjustments will be minimum throughout, as you progress in your degree. It's important for you to understand and follow McGill supervision policies. So we invite you to read about them. Learn how to manage your supervisor. So basically here is how to, adapt to the different styles. So this obviously will go with time, but it's important. Then again, this is why we encourage you to include everything in the letter of understanding, because if you were expecting maybe a more hands-on supervisory style, and there are more, they take more of a laissez-faire approach, there might be some confusion there. So this is why it's important to, from the start, saying, this is why I'm expecting from you, and they can state what they're expecting from you as well. So for more grad supervision resources, please click there. We have a full website full of resources and tips, and a lot of information that can support you in terms of the relationship that you have with your supervisor, but also in terms of general support for you as a student with a supervisor. Next slide, please. So, of course, we want to ensure that there are no conflicts, but in reality, sometimes there are conflicts between supervisor and supervisee, and this is usually when things, then again, are not clear from the get-go. So the process to address conflicts with your supervisor is usually, first, attempt to understand the conflict. Is this personal? Is this cultural? Is this another nature of conflict? Then speak with your supervisor. Once again, we think that the best path is to have an open conversation channel, open communication channel, and then speak with them. Maybe where they are unaware of this. Is this like a misunderstanding? If this does not get solved, then escalate as if necessary. So we have here a pyramid. This is usually the way that the conflict would move upward. So it would start with the supervisor. If the concern is not resolved, then it would move up to the supervisory committee. If it's not resolved, then it would go to the graduate program director, then to the graduate program or department chair, then to the faculty associate dean, then to the GPS associate dean, all the way to the GPS dean. But it's important for you to know that it's perfectly okay to skip steps in this hierarchy if you are more comfortable with, let's say, talking to your graduate program director rather than with the supervisory committee, or if there's not a great, there's a barrier of some sort, you can also submit your concerns confidentially via this form. But it's very important for you to know that at all times there's support available for you, and there are resources at your disposal to address any type of conflict. Next slide, please. Thank you. So some other resources in conflict resolution can be the Office of the Dean of Students. They oversee student rights and responsibilities, academic integrity, academic advising, and the student disciplinary process, student recognition. So this office refers students to support services and facilitate solutions to the problems, often those in junction of academic and non-academic issues. They support students in difficulty in an open, non-judgmental manner, and address all issues brought to their attention, whether they are big or small. The other resource that we have built for you is the Office of Mediation and Reporting. Once again, you will see all the acronyms there, ODOS and OMR. This office is responsible for receiving and responding to formal reports of discrimination, harassment, and sexual violence against members of the university community. They offer confidential consultations to provide information on reporting processes as relevant to the university resources without, support services and training. They provide formal investigation and mediation services, as well as non-judgmental confidential consultations. So these resources, once again, available to you. We obviously hope that you are not in a situation that requires them, but it's important for you to be aware that should it be the case, you have resources available. Next slide, please. Okay, then going back into all of the part of their requirements, it's legal documents. So all universities in Quebec must report their students' legal status in Canada to the Quebec Ministry of Education. So if you're an international student, you must have your immigration permission to remain in Canada for the length of your registration at McGill, depending on the level of your program. If you're a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, your legal documents will determine your rate of tuition fees at McGill. For everyone, legal documents are required for the creation of your Quebec Permanent Code. So when to submit? This is very important for you to know, because these documents is basically for international students. It will be your CAQ and your study permit, and you need to submit them to legal documents. If you're a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, you have different types of documents to provide to then again determine your tuition fees. They should be sent after you accepted your offer and before you arrive on campus. This will ensure that your student legal and tuition fee status are up to date. This makes a big difference because, for instance, if you are a Canadian citizen and you did not submit your legal documents, probably your first e-bill will be shown as international student, and then you will need to wait until you send your documents and then update it for these to be updated as well in your accounts. So to ensure that your accounts are up to date and that your legal and tuition fee status are up to date, please submit them before you begin your studies. You can find more information about which documents to submit and how to submit them by clicking there, that link, that it goes to legal documents. Then finally, international students, if you haven't yet attended any of the ISS webinars, we invite you to do so. They give a lot of information about how to obtain your immigration documents, such as the provincial certificat d'attestation du Québec, which is the CAQ, and the federal study permit. So these are required to be legally authorized to study in Canada. We recommend you to initiate your process, as soon as you accept your offer, to initiate your process, as time processing varies. So it's better sooner than later to ensure that you arrive to campus on time. So once you accepted your offer, you will notice, if you're an international student, you will notice that there are two items that appear on your checklist. This checklist is your application portal checklist, where you submitted all the required documents for your application. These two items have appeared: letter of attestation of issuance of your CAQ and study permit approval letter. You received an email in which we were asking you to mark this as received as soon as you receive your documents. So it's important for you to know that once you receive your CAQ, you should mark these as received on your checklist. Once you receive your study permit, you should mark these as received. This will allow us to quantify how many students would probably need support in order to get to campus on time, to help us review the situation in a global way. But it's important for you to know that marking them as checklist does not replace your obligation to submit a copy of your CAQ and study permit directly to legal documents. So these are two processes that are different, but both are required. Next slide, please. So, Grad resources. As you notice, we really want you to know that we have you covered, that you have a lot of support available for you. So this is part of it. Next slide, please. So My Path and the IDP. My Path is a toolkit that helps you identify and achieve your goals. Um, in order to get this requirement, this is a requirement for all graduate students in order to graduate. So all graduate students are required to attend at least one IDP workshop and create their IDP. What's an IDP? It's an individual development plan. It will help you assess your skills and identify areas for professional and personal development, identify your annual priorities, and establish an action plan. This is extremely important because it involves not only the academic success, but also to do personal planning. Because, and you will see this in their workshops, but it's important for you, yes, to achieve everything academically, but it's also important for you to take care of yourself during this process. So these IDP ensures that you set goals for your well-being as well. So it's very important. You will be getting invitations to these workshops. Once again, I strongly encourage you to take this workshop and do their IDP as early as possible, so that you also benefit from this planning. For more information, you can visit the MyPath website, but you will also receive more information about the workshops in the coming weeks. Next slide, please. Skill sets. So these are graduate-specific skills development to complement your research training. There are workshops, trainings, and resources available that include how to apply for funding and managing finances, project and time management skills, developing presentation skills, supervision series and mentorship skills, student engagement fund, and connected academic series. This is for students in the Faculty of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences and the Faculty of Arts. So you usually get newsletter with the workshops available per month. So we really encourage you to review them. I know that at some point you will receive a lot of emails because we want you to have all this information. But even if you just browse through it, it will be very important for you to review them because they are there for you to take advantage of. Next slide, please. Graphos. So we also have Graphos through the McGill Graduate Writing Center. This is important because it will help you improve your scholarly communication skills. There are media-specific workshops, tutorial services, and dedicated writing groups and seminars, and they also offer one-credit courses. It's important to know that these credit courses are available for both non-thesis and thesis students, but usually thesis students are the ones that are more interested because obviously it will help them enhance their writing skills for their thesis purposes. But there are also additional options for non-native English speakers. So there is a program for everyone. So once again, you will be notified of these workshops and these courses that are available throughout the year. Each cycle, usually we send communication from the GPS level, letting you know about these workshops. Next slide, please. McGill Library. So it's important for you to know that McGill Libraries provide you more than just access to library collections. There are interlibrary loans. You have streaming services available, Criterion on Demand and Canopy. You have scanning services. You have dedicated graduate study spaces and group study rooms, citation software, that it's available for you to download, research workshops and research data services, access to librarians in person or via chat, email, text, or phone. They're there to support you in your research. And also, depending on your program, you might have a liaison librarian that's specific to your area. So we encourage you to review also these resources because, as you progress in your degree, you will be consulting more and more these services. So you know that it's not only access to the library, but we have more things for you to explore. Next slide, please. GPS, graduate funding. So we know that this is a very important topic for a lot of you. We obviously want to ensure that you have the right support. So McGill recognizes that the continuing success, it's attracting top students, and it rests on its ability to provide competitive graduate student financial support. Um, so in our website, you can learn about funding available for graduate students as well as funding expectations. If we go to the next slide, please. So if you are in a PhD program, as soon as you receive your offer, you received a funding letter in which it states the funding that you are expected to receive from the university. If you are in a master thesis program, some master thesis program also included a funding letter, which can have some level of funding. The funding packages mostly consist of awards or stipends for progress towards your degree. So this is usually tied to your supervisor, to the grants and programs in which they are working. Sometimes it comes from awards from the faculty itself or from the department. So everything is stated there in your funding letter. If you did not receive a funding letter that explains that you received funding, then it means that there was no funding tied to it. But this would be to other programs. All PhD students receive a funding letter. This letter also mentions expected employment salary, if applicable. If you have any questions about your funding letter, you can click there in understanding your graduate funding letter, or you can ask more information to your department. Next slide, please. So external awards. These are grants, awards, or fellowships that are offered by the federal or provincial government or other external agencies. There are options for both Canadian and international students, for master theses and PhD programs, and recently some non-thesis programs can apply to certain opportunities. It's important to know that you are responsible for applying for external funding, but your department can help. So we usually send you information about these grants, awards, or fellowship when they become available. We let you know about deadlines. We usually host information sessions to give you more details on how to apply. And we generally give you resources to support you your application to these programs. So you are the one taking action, but we give you a lot of tools for you to apply. Next slide, please. So these are some of the opportunities that are available. So Canadian students are eligible to apply for federal awards, and international doctoral students can apply for federal awards as of last year, fall 2025. So there are different depending on your discipline. So there are some for humanities and social sciences, for sciences and technology, and for medicine and health sciences. Canadian and international students are eligible to apply for provincial awards. So once again, this is depending, the institution is depending on your discipline, but the important part is to know that there are awards available for you to apply. You can also explore the funding opportunities to see these and other external award competitions. But as I mentioned, we send you information on this. So it's just important that you review your emails and that you review these opportunities when we send them. Next slide, please. Staying happy and healthy at McGill. This is one of our priorities because we want you to succeed, as I mentioned, not only academically, but that you are well. So McGill offers a wide range of resources to support your well-being during your graduate studies. These resources are there for you, so don't hesitate to make use of them. You can scan the QR code on screen. You can also wait until you receive the slides and click on the link. But there's a lot of resources available for you to get a selection of the best services for your well-being. And now I am passing the screen to Maya for you to for her to tell you a little bit more about everything that we have available for you. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you so much, Monse, for covering all of the academic parts and all of the resources that are available to grad students from the GPS side. I want to talk to you about even more resources that are available for all students and specifically for graduate students at McGill. Now, you may not need all of these services right now, but think of it more as like you're building a toolbox for your university journey. I'm going to share some links in our Q&A that I'm going to be talking about throughout this presentation so that you have access to those as soon as possible. And then we're going to go ahead and get started with our first service at McGill, which is campus life and engagement. So I mentioned a few of these things already in my introduction earlier, but just a refresher, and also to all of the students who joined a little bit later. Again, my name is Maya, and I work with Campus Life and Engagement. And what we do is we essentially provide support for new students specifically, but we also help all students, new and returning, to find a sense of belonging, and we connect them to opportunities to lead, connect, and grow on campus and in your everyday lives. So we have many different offerings for students, and I'll expand on some of these a bit further in a few slides, but I wanted you to get an idea of the programming that we offer, such as our webinars, events. We have volunteering opportunities. We offer a lot of French language programming, so if ever you wanted to come around and practice your French, there's going to be a lot of events for you throughout the year. We also have one-on-one appointments with various advisors and a team of Ask McGill student navigators that can also answer your questions. Next up is International Student Services, or ISS. So as Monty mentioned, there's going to be a lot of acronyms. I'm going to make sure to spell them all out for you, but if ever I miss one, make sure to type it in the Q&A and I'll make sure to spell it out for you. So ISS, we also briefly mentioned it earlier today. They offer dedicated support for all international students. So they offer webinars on various topics, going from adapting to life in Montreal to your international health insurance plan and more. So make sure you check them out. They have a program called the First Friend Program, which is a peer-to-peer program for new students to chat online, connect with other international students from all over the world. You can find information on immigration, work permits. They also offer events and program. It's all going to be on their webpage, which I've linked in the Q&A. You can also call or drop into the ISS office and book an advising appointment for more specific questions and support if you need it. Next up is the McGill Office of Religious and Spiritual Life, or MORSL for short, which provides multi-faith resources and programming for the religious and spiritual well-being of students at McGill. They offer a variety of events and workshops to help students connect with their faith and with their faith community. So you can also connect with a MORSL staff member or with one of their multi-faith volunteers if you wanted to have a conversation and explore your faith. So the Student Accessibility and Achievement Office, or SSA, they provide, oh, so sorry, I missed the slide. There we go. The McGill Scholarship and Student Aid Office, or SSA, they provide resources and advice to help students pay for their studies. If you are looking for further funding opportunities, this is going to be the place to go. You can take a look at their website to find out more about the opportunities that may be available to you. SSA also helps students make the most out of their budget. So you can check out their Frugal Scholar Hub for tips on creating a budget, managing your debt, and so much more. There is also a work-study program that offers students with financial needs access to clerical, research, library, or other jobs on campus or at a McGill-affiliated organization if you wanted to work part-time as you complete your studies. Now it's the the Student Accessibility and Achievement Office, and this is SAA. Very similar acronyms between SSA and SAA, but this is going to be on the academic side of things. So SAA helps students achieve their academic goals. They offer learning resources such as note-taking support. They have peer support and tutor matching, and so much more that is available to all McGill students. But students that have a documented disability, a mental health condition, or chronic health condition, or any other impairment, they can also register with SAA to obtain some additional accommodation to help through their studies. So they have a dedicated support for graduate students with disability. So if you are eligible, you can meet with an advisor to discuss any barriers to your learning and develop a personalized plan for your unique academic journey. Our next one is going to be CAPS, or the Career Planning Service. So CAP supports all students in all aspects of their job search and career development. So they will offer workshops, they offer one-on-one advising, they have mentorship and other resources on various topics such as CV writing, networking, and so much more. CAPS will also hold a career fair for students to help them connect to opportunities through the job listing. And they also help, students connect to opportunities through the job listing platform, which is called My Future. And you have the link to My Future right here and in the Q&A. So if you're looking for job postings, you can find them there as well. The Student Wellness Hub, this is probably the only service at McGill that is not commonly referred to by its acronym, though you might hear it referred to as the Hub. So the Hub offers on-campus access to services and resources to support your physical, mental, and emotional health. You can book an appointment with a healthcare specialist or speak with your local wellness advisor. And your local wellness advisor is Devin Simpson. They are absolutely lovely. The Hub also offers so many resources and events for students. A cute one is the animal therapy sessions, where you can go and pet and play with therapy dogs to help relieve some stress and anxiety. They offer that one a few times throughout the year, more commonly around the midterm season. Next up is the just mentioning Grad Hub, I wanted to also talk about your health insurance options, and that depends on your situation. So for Canadian students, you are automatically enrolled in the Postgraduate Student Society, or PGSS Enhanced Care Health and Dental Plan. So PGSS is Postgraduate Student Society. For international students, you are automatically enrolled in the International Health Insurance Plan and the dental care portion of the PGSS Enhanced Care Plan. There are some exemptions to the International Health Insurance Plan, and students have to activate their coverage once they start at McGill. Finally, Canadian students who are not yet eligible for the provincial insurance can also enroll in the International Health Insurance Plan if they wanted to. You should attend the Grad Health 101 webinar. It's happening on May 28th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's also the Health Insurance for Grads webinar, which is on June 5th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you were looking for more information on supporting your health and well-being journey at McGill, but also on the insurance options for grad students. So athletics and recreation provides resources for students to stay healthy, meet people, and have fun. McGill students have access to the McGill Sports Complex at the downtown campus and the Stewart Athletics Complex at the McDonald campus. You can play a pickup sport, you can compete in the intramurals program, you can take also fitness, dance, martial art classes, and so much more. You can also get a membership to the gym if you would like to work out there. Students do receive a discount for the gyms. I want to briefly mention a few additional resources as well. So we have OSVERS, which is the Office for Sexual Violence Response, Support, and Education. There's also OMR, the Office of Mediation and Reporting, and ODOS, the Office of the Dean of Students, which Monse mentioned a bit earlier. These services are offered by McGill and can be really helpful for grad students who may be navigating some challenges or seeking guidance during their academic journey. So I just wanted to mention those there. There are also many services that are provided by student groups as well. So I wanted to highlight a couple, specifically the Sexual Assault Center of the McGill Student Society, or SACOMS. You also have the SSMU Food Bank, which is great. It is a pay-what-you-can grocery store in partnership with Ecole. If you are at the MAC campus, there's also Happy Belly, which offers free meals for students. And we have the Legal Information Clinic as well, which is a student-run nonprofit legal information clinic. If ever you have any questions, they might be able to help you answer them. And you can find out more by checking out the link in this slide that will give you a whole list of clubs and services that are created by students for students. All right, let's talk a little bit about graduate community. So building community is really important for your well-being. We often see a lot of grad students tend to isolate themselves in their labs or their offices, and there's often a feeling of loneliness being reported. And we see that a student's involvement in the campus community is very closely linked to their improved academic sense of fulfillment, and expanded networking, so much more. So if you are interested in learning more, you should check out the Getting Involved webinar on July 30th to get more information about the practical benefits of getting involved and opportunities to get involved. But I wanted to show you a little bit how to connect to your community early on. So you can start by joining the graduate entering class Discord, which is a private community for first-year grad students where you can chat with one another, you can share tips, you can ask questions. There's going to be Clay staff members who are present on the Discord who can also help answer any questions about McGill resources and services and navigating the campus, etc. We're also going to be planning some online meetups on the server. So to have each faculty get a chance to meet, for students from each faculty to get a chance to meet one another and connect using the voice chat. So those online meetups are going to be coming up in early August. So make sure you join the Discord before then. You can already join it as of now. It's already open. We have a great community of about 300 students there already. So if you're not there already, make sure to join it. You can also sign up to be a mentee in our new Student Buddy program. So here we will pair you with a mentor from either your program or your faculty, and they're going to be able to share their experience with you as a student who has gone through what you are going through right now. They can help you with exploring the campus in Montreal, give you some well-being and academic tips, etc. Applications are now open for the mentorship program as well. So if you're interested in becoming a student mentee, make sure to sign up. You also have your student society. So PGSS, or the Postgraduate Student Society, represents all graduate students and postdoctoral fellows at McGill. They provide numerous services. They host events throughout the year. And the first one that you might attend is a social event during orientation week, which I'll mention in a couple slides. PGSS has an office in Thompson House, which is also a gathering place for grad students. It has a study lounge, conference rooms, a restaurant, and more. A lot of grad students find themselves hanging out there a lot during the course of their studies. So when you get on campus, make sure to check out Thompson House. If you are a new student at the MAC campus, you are also covered by MCGSS, or the McDonald Campus Graduate Student Society. They also offer a lot of services, resources, and events for students at MAC, in addition to those provided by PGSS. So as a graduate student, you are members of PGSS and or MCGSS automatically, and you have access to all of these resources. But if ever you're interested in getting involved further, you can also join the PGSS executive or commissioner teams or the MCGSS council. So in addition to PGSS and MCGSS, you also have your PGSA, or that's your Postgraduate Student Associations. And these are associations that are at the department level, and they directly represent you and your classmates. So in addition to social events, they might organize academic events, provide some specialized support to help you through your academic journey specifically. There is a list of all of the PGSAs available on the PGSS website. So if you're curious to know what your PGSA name is and what their contact information is, you can also find that on the PGSS website. There are also many groups on campus that are dedicated to supporting and celebrating specific communities. First People's House, for example, is a McGill service for Indigenous students. SSMU, or the Student Society of McGill University, also offers an incredibly wide variety of student groups and associations based on specific languages, region, culture, etc. We also have a group on campus for the queer community of McGill called Queer McGill. There are over 250 clubs, services, and independent student groups. So if you're interested in joining one of them, make sure you check them out. There will be an activities night during the start of the fall. The dates have not been finalized yet, but it will be at the beginning of September, where all these clubs will be present so that you can go ahead and talk to some of them, get to see what's available, and join them if that interests you. All right, so on to orientation. This year's orientation is going to be held from August 26th to August 28th at the downtown campus, and it's open to all students. There's also going to be additional welcome events for MAC students at the MAC campus on September 1st and 2nd. This year, we're kicking off orientation with a welcome breakfast, giving you the opportunity to meet your fellow new grads on Wednesday, 26th in the morning. We'll be hosting also over 15 workshops to help you get ready for your studies at McGill, mostly on the 26th and the 27th throughout the day, which, by the way, I know Monse mentioned the MyPath and the IGP workshops. One of them is going to be offered during orientation, so that's a great opportunity for you to get that workshop done. It is going to be on August 26th. So registration is going to open soon. You'll be able to see all of the workshops that are available and sign up for the ones that you're interested in. You'll also have the opportunity to meet many McGill services face-to-face during our services fair. And we're closing the downtown events on the August 28th with a social mixer at Thompson House. So you don't want to miss out. Make sure that you sign up for orientation when it becomes available. Until then, we have organized some webinars that are going to help you prepare for your arrival at McGill. Here are some of the offerings that are going to be available for you this summer. The times that are listed here are in Montreal time, so that's Eastern Standard Time. If you're joining us from a different area of the world, make sure that you check the time conversion to be sure that you are attending it at the right moment. You can register for any and all of these sessions in your applicant portal. And if you're interested in a session, but you're not available for the time that it's offered, don't worry, it's going to be recorded like this one is, and it's going to be available on the portal for you as well. So these are some of the ones coming up. You can already register for most of them on your portal right now, and there's going to be more later in the summer as well. So I wanted to end on a quick cheat sheet and a recap to help you find advice and answers to your questions easily. If you have a question that is specific to your program, you can go to your graduate program coordinator. If you wanted to get advice from an upper year graduate student, you can sign up for the New Student Buddy program. If you wanted to connect with new students, you can join the Grad Discord. And if you're an international student, you also have the First Friend program that you can sign up for. If you're looking for general information that is useful to new grad students, you should go to the Grad Hub. You'll find a lot of great information listed there. And finally, if you're not sure where to go for your questions, you can come to Clay and we'll either know the answer or we'll know who to put you in contact with so we can guide you to wherever you need to go. This is our contact information. If ever you wanted to reach out to us, you can send us an email at the firstyear@mcgill.ca email address. You can also check out our Get Ready page. If you wanted to speak with a student navigator, we have our Ask McGill phone number listed on the screen. And of course, a link to our entering class Discord, which I'll make sure to pop in the Q&A if I haven't already, for you guys to join. All right, we have some time left for a Q&A. So I know that there are a few questions that are already there.
Yes, Maya, if it's okay, I want to answer some of them here, as that may,
Yes, go ahead.
yes, thank you. So we received some questions about sharing the slides. Yes, we will be sharing the slides and we will be sharing the recording. We also received some questions about, oh, I think that they're already published. Yes, okay. So some questions about the tutorial. So it takes a lot, it takes all of us. So basically, if you took it prior January 2023, then you would need to take it again. It's generally different. If you took it, let's say, 1 year ago, then you wouldn't need to take it again, or 2 years ago. But that would be only if you are a master's student that were studying here and then you're entering the PhD level. So generally, if you're an undergrad, you would need to take it again. Then do you want, let me see. There were some questions about CAQ. So for instance, there's this question about CAQ and expiry date. We would ask you to contact ISS, but generally, if you are, let's say, a PhD student, the full length of your studies wouldn't be covered. So yes, ISS would support you in renewing your documents. So non-thesis, non-research masters finding funding opportunities that were eligible for. So as I mentioned, GPS sends emails on a regular basis. So every time an award or a fellowship opportunity is available, a funding opportunity is available, we send an email with all the details about eligibility. So you will be able to see whether if your program is eligible or not to apply, and we give all of the details. So for non-thesis, non-research masters, there are not so many opportunities available, but there are some. But then again, it depends on your program. So I would just suggest to keep an eye out for all these information that we're sending about award opportunities and reviewing eligibility. Maya, I see one here about connecting with a PhD student in another department.
Yes. I also have a question about the grad student, the grad Discord. So I'm going to answer both of them right now. So how to connect with other with PhD students in other programs or in one department is the question. So you have a few options to connect with various students, and that will also answer the question about Discord being banned in certain regions. So if Discord is banned in your region, you also have the opportunity to join the First Friend program, which I'm going to be sending the link in that question, and I'll publish it in the Q&A more generally. So this is one opportunity to connect with other graduate students. So the First Friend program will connect you to students from your region, your area, so that you're able to make some friends before you get to campus. If Discord is not banned in your area, then joining the entering class Discord is another great opportunity to connect with PhD students or all grad students in general. Our Discord is divided with different, so there are different channels, whether it's based on interest, based on whether you're already living in Montreal or coming from abroad, and based on your faculty and department as well. So you're able to join the various channels depending on the selections that you make at the beginning once you first get approved into the Discord. If you choose your faculty, you'll be added to that faculty channel and you'll be able to connect with students online there. So this is available for throughout the summer. And then once you actually get on campus, during our welcome breakfast, we will have the opportunity for students to find one another from their faculties. We will have little name tags with their faculties on them and little posters with faculty information so that you'll be able to find one another and connect with other people from your departments and your faculties. And then we also have our social mixer that closes out. So we have the welcome breakfast at the very start of orientation and the social mixer at the very end of orientation. That is a big social event happening at Thompson House where all graduate students are invited to come. There will be food served there as well. There will be an opportunity for you all to meet one another and connect with one another at that event as well. And then throughout orientation, I'm hoping that you would have met some people throughout the summer, met some people at our welcome breakfast. You can join your friends during the various workshops that are offered the first 2 days, and also join them during the fair that is happening on the August 28th. So these are some of the opportunities that are available to you right away to connect with one another. If you are looking for other opportunities, feel free to send me an email. You can reach me at first year@mcgill.ca, and we can explore any other opportunities that are available through the various clubs at McGill, the various volunteer. Also, if you're interested in volunteering, we offer a lot of volunteering opportunities. So there are more, but I would suggest that you start there from the First Friends groups and the Discord and orientation. I am looking through the question. I see a couple of people asking about the presentation, if it's going to be available, and the answer is yes. The PowerPoint presentation and the recording to the presentation is going to be available. It takes us a few business days to put everything together and publish it. So look out for them sometime next week. It should be available. I believe you'll get an email once everything is ready.
Maya, so sorry to interrupt. So I had answered the questions that I had published. Those are okay. I believe I left the ones that are in review. So if you want to just go through some of them, but the ones I have an answer has already been published already. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Okay, Maya, I see it. Oh, sorry. If you want to tackle
go
some,
ahead.
go ahead. Okay, thank you. So there's here a question about, is there a department to ask questions in regard to qualifying your students? Yes, that would be your graduate program coordinator. You need to ask them questions because if they're qualifying year, it usually have more information that's program specific. So they would be the best contact to help. Yes, Maya, if you want to go, and then I'll answer another one after.
Yeah, sure. I see a question here about orientation. Yes, orientation is going to be from August 26th to August 28th for all students, all graduate students. So it doesn't matter which department or program that you're part of.
Okay, there is another question. Can you explain my progress tool? Is it for tracking thesis completion? Actually, my progress is a tool that you will see in Minerva, and it's to track your progress regardless if you're a thesis or non-thesis student. It will let you know which courses you need to take to complete your degree. So once you register to your courses, you will see that they have different symbols, so it will tell you that these you are taking currently. And once they are completed, they are marked. basically, this is a place where you can track all of the course requirements, but also other requirements such as the IDP, individual development plan component. So this is to track completion of all degrees, whether if they're thesis or non-thesis. So there's a student that it's not able to log into their McGill email and needs support to reset password. Then you need to contact IT. So you can either do so by the email that you received, in which they give you the instructions on how to activate it, or once you receive the slides, we included there a link on the IT knowledge base so that you can review that. So there's another one about when do we send out information about funding opportunities? Is it possible to apply to more than one? So we generally send them out as soon as they become available. So basically, there are different types of competitions throughout the year. So when these opportunities become available, we send you an email. And this is why it's very important for you to review all your emails. We know, once again, that sometimes you receive a lot, but this information is crucial, especially if you're looking for these type of opportunities. These emails are clearly mentioned like funding, and it says eligibility. We include a blurb about the opportunity. You can see whether you're eligible to apply. And then again, sometimes we have information sessions, sometimes we have a website, sometimes we have details on how to apply, but we give a lot of information about it. There's a question about insurance, Maya. I don't know if you want to take that one.
Yeah, for sure. So the question is, are Canadian Indigenous students automatically insured under the health and dental insurance? So this is going to depend a little bit on your situation. If you are, if you have the HAMQ, if you're a Canadian student from Quebec that has the HAMQ, you're automatically enrolled in the Postgraduate Student Society Enhanced Care and Care Health and Dental Plan. However, if you are a Canadian student that is not a permanent resident in Montreal and you are not eligible for provincial insurance in Montreal, you have the option to enroll in the International Health Insurance Plan. So sometimes I know it takes a little bit of time between when you're moving to Montreal to when you do get your HAMQ, so you would be able to enroll in the International Health Insurance Plan until your HAMQ is available for you to be covered by the PGSS supplemental health and dental coverage. If you have more specific questions about your specific case, I would recommend that you speak with International Student Services about the International Health Insurance Plan, or with the hub about the PGSS Enhanced Care and Dental Plan. In fact, I think the hub can also answer your questions about the International Health Insurance Plan. So if it's anything that is more specific than that, I would recommend speaking with them to get a more clear answer. I also saw a question about the mentorship program for the new Student Buddy program. So I'm going to pop the link in the Q&A. There is a link for you to follow to go in and register. You just have to put in some information, fill out a quick form, and then you'll be able to get matched with a mentor. As for orientation, we are finalizing the details of orientation as we speak, and it should be available for you to register. It's going to be within your applicant portal, so you have to go to your applicant portal to register for these events. You're going to get an email, of course, when it's ready to go, and then you'll be able to sign up for the various events there.
Maya, I'm gonna answer another one if it's okay for you. So there's one that it says, "Hi, I'm a former McGill master student. After a few years going into the PhD, same program, I've been asked to send the same transcripts I sent back from my master's. I'd like to know who I can contact to see if there's a possibility of these can be avoided, as international transcripts are costly." Well, it depends. I here sometimes, unless they're McGill transcripts, transcripts needs to be reviewed, and they need to be vetted by enrollment services. So in this case, you are a McGill student, but it also depended when you first studied. So if you studied, many years ago, they would probably perhaps need your transcripts again. But the best person to contact for them to review with enrollment services, it would be your graduate program coordinator. So please contact them, and they will guide you into, they will ask on your behalf, and they will let you know whether it's still you need to resend them, or if this is not a requirement as you're a previous McGill student. So they can review that, but the best person to contact, graduate program coordinator. Thank you. So I think we have the majority of the questions covered. There's another one about remote library access. So basically, you will access through your VPN. So with your VPN, you'll be able to access libraries and all of their resources. So this is why it's important to activate your McGill account. There are some other questions maybe that we, Maya, I don't know if there's.
I just see a question. I'm not sure if you've answered it already, Monse, about the TA employment as part of funding. Are there any necessary steps to follow before arriving at university?
Sorry, I don't see it. Like necessary steps to.
Yes, are there any necessary
Okay.
steps to follow before arriving at university?
Yes. Okay. So for these TA employment, it's usually after. So in your departmental funding letter, it can tells you how much is typically expected to, should you apply for positions, but then definitely you would need to apply for these positions. These positions are available through Workday. And in this case, if you have any questions about like what type of positions you could apply to, you can reach out to your department, because they would be the ones that could tell you which positions you would be eligible to apply to. Because then again, even if it's teaching assistantship, you need to go through the recruitment process. You need to apply for the position, you need to get it. So the best person to answer these questions would be your department. So I think that we've covered.
Yeah.
There's one question. How do we track requirement for courses? Well, someone asked about my progress. My progress is a tool that you will see in Minerva. The more that you explore all of these tools that you have available, the more things you will be able to see. At this point, I would, you won't see anything really in the My Progress, because you have not yet registered for your courses. So it's also important for you, once again, and I'm going to take this opportunity because we have a couple of minutes left, to remind you, once you register, once registrations are open, please ensure to register for the fall and the winter term at the same time. That way, you know that you have secured your spot for the courses that you are to take for the fall and winter term. Once you are registered to these courses, that's when the tutorials will become available. Because I also, as I mentioned, some people ask, hey, I don't see them yet. Yes, because it's until you register, until you become a registered student, then some things become available in the system. So then at that point, you'll be able to complete the tutorials, and you'll be able to see more features from the systems. So once you register, you'll be able to see there in My Progress. My Progress tracks key milestones of your program, but also the degree progression. So basically, every course that you take, it brings you closer to the required credits for you to graduate. So that's it. Thank you so very much for your attention, for being engaged with us. We really enjoyed giving you all of this information and welcoming you to McGill. We look forward to seeing you in the fall in orientation and on campus. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Elisa.
Thank you, Monse. Thank you, Elisa. It was a pleasure to present this information to students today with you. I hope that you were all able to take in all of this information. And if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us with your questions. And yes, as Monse said, we look forward to seeing you in the fall. All right.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Have a great day, everybody.